The day after my wife and I finalized our divorce, I checked into a cheap roadside motel. The receptionist barely looked up, sliding a key across the counter with a tired, "Room 6 is available, just sign here." I signed, hands trembling, not from sorrow, but from the heavy, breathless silence that had been following me all day. Divorce isn't loud the way movies pretend it is. Sometimes it's just a quiet unraveling, thread by thread, of everything you once called home. The room smelled faintly of bleach and stale air, like a memory someone tried too hard to erase. The bedspread was worn, patterned with cigarette burns despite the no smoking sign on the door. I sat on the edge of the bed, still wearing the suit from court. The tie clung to my neck like a soft noose. My phone buzzed a couple times. Friends checking in, offering support, asking how I was doing. I couldn't bring myself to answer. I didn't have words that weren't soaked in grief or wrapped in silence. Around 1 a.m., I stepped outside, lit a cigarette even though I hadn't smoked in years. The night was warm and heavy, the kind of humid that clings to your skin. A vending machine hummed nearby. A stray cat darted beneath a parked car. That's when I saw her. The door to room 5 creaked open, and a woman stepped out barefoot, dressed in a hoodie and pajama shorts. She looked about my age, maybe younger, maybe just tired. Her hair was messy, her expression unreadable, but her eyes met mine, and for a long second, we just stood there beneath the flickering overhead light, staring. Two strangers pulled from different stories, both stranded in the same strange chapter. "You smoke?" I asked, holding up my cigarette like a question. "I quit," she said, stepping closer, "but I relapse at motels." I laughed. It came out cracked, surprised. She stood beside me, close but not too close, the distance between us filled with unspoken heaviness. "Bad day?" she asked. "Worse." "Same." We shared a quiet smoke, trading silence like it was a language we both knew fluently. Her name was Marai. I'd never heard that name before. She said it came from a dream her mother had before she was born. I was supposed to be something special, she joked softly, eyes falling to the concrete. Guess we both disappointed someone. I asked if she wanted to walk. She nodded. Behind the motel stretched a forgotten service road lined with weeds, broken fences, and the hum of distant traffic. We walked like ghosts unsure where they died, feet dragging to the gravel, shadows flickering beneath us. She told me she'd left her boyfriend in Atlanta, said he was the kind of man who made you feel small without raising his voice. I told her about my marriage, how it ended not with fight, not with an affair, but with an absence so vast we couldn't pretend to be holding hands anymore. No anger, no tears, just stillness. Sometimes silence is the loudest way to end something, she said, almost to herself. We found an old concrete slab behind the motel and sat with our feet dangling over the edge like children watching the world pass by. "What are you doing next?" I asked. "No idea." "You?" "Same." We didn't sleep together. That would have been easy, predictable. A detour, not a connection. Instead, we talked until the sky began to shift from darkness to pale pink, the kind of dawn that feels more like a sigh than a sunrise. When I checked out later that morning, she was already gone. No note, no goodbye, just a faint scent of vanilla where she'd been sitting beside me. I've thought about her 100 times since. Marai, with her dream-born name and motel sadness. Not because I loved her. I didn't. But because for one night, in the thick of loss, she met me at the edge of invisibility and reminded me I was still real. Some people drift into your life like a whisper and leave like smoke. That was Marai.